Hey Facebook friends, Kara here with Kinsley's Creative Palette, and guess what time it is? It is time to start our back to school project. Now, I say our back to school project and I realize that in most of the country you've already gone back to school, but that's okay because the one thing I know is teachers love gifts anytime. Everybody loves gifts anytime. So, hopefully if y'all have already gone back to school, your littles are getting settled in or your grandkids are getting settled in and you're ready to make something special for their teacher. So at the top of my page, hopefully you have already signed up and downloaded your templates. This is the clipboard template. If you want to paint with us on a clipboard, I highly suggest if it's your first painting project that if you're scared to do like jump in with a jigsaw and cut a door hanger, paint this with us. You can go to Dollar Tree and for $1 you can get a clipboard. Go to Walmart and get some bottles of paint and you can join in on this project. If you are a seasoned door hanger lover or if you are ready to get brave and try, grab some tri-ply underlayment or some MDF from Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever, and use this template, which is big. We're going to cut this out and put it together. Yay, Shannon! Okay, Shannon, I hope I don't disappoint you, but we're not going to paint the whole project today. We're going to work on this. We're going to work on the clipboard. And then I'm going to kind of give some of the newbies that are wanting to join us, I'm going to show them what all they need to do the door hanger too. Hey, Allison. And then that way, if they want to paint the door hanger, I will paint this live this week and then this live either next week or the week after. So I hope that that's okay with everybody. I wanted to make this as easy as possible, and what I realized was from a lot of the feedback that I got after people downloaded the template, they're like, okay, great, but I don't know how to do this. So I wanted to start simple. So we're going to start today by painting our clipboard, and you can see it's just a clipboard on one side, and then I painted the back white, and I want to talk to y'all about the paint I used on the back. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But if you are going to cut the door hanger, or if you've already cut it, fantastic. Okay, perfect, Shannon. So you're good. You're good with me doing this today. Because I thought I didn't want anyone to be disappointed that we weren't going to paint the whole door hanger today. But a lot of people don't know what supplies they need, and I want to give them that opportunity to grab those supplies and kind of do this project little by little so that it's not so overwhelming. So I want to show you. Hello, Lisa. Okay, I have my tri-ply. It's just an underlayment plywood. It's like $15 a sheet, maybe $16 at Home Depot for a really big sheet, really big. I had them cut it down for me so that it's in manageable pieces. And then I come home and I cut it with either my jigsaw or I go to the college and use a laser cutter. But before we start painting the clipboard, hello, Mary. Before we start painting the clipboard, I want to show you, I use that wood when, oh, good. I want to show you something really cool that I learned from another painter last week, which, guys, I told you this, I swear I say this every time. I'm a serial learner. I'm always learning. I feel like you should always be learning new things. It keeps your brain fresh. So I watched a video from Tamara Bennett over at Southern Adornments Decor, and she taught me that there are these amazing blades that I didn't even know they had. Like, I thought jigsaw blades were jigsaw blades. Holy cow. Okay, so let me show y'all real quick. I have not cut and assembled my template yet, but this is essentially what it's going to look like. I'll cut it apart and tape it, and then I will cut around it on my board. So I'm going to use a jigsaw to do that. Let me show you what that's going to be. Hey, Lisa. Oh, okay. So let me show you this whole like jigsaw fun. jigsaws are not expensive, guys. They're not expensive. So if you have a spouse or mother or someone who's looking for an awesome gift for you, super cheap. I say super cheap. You can get one for 30 bucks. This one was a little bit more. It's a Tekpo, which I ordered from Amazon. And I have all this stuff in my Amazon store on my website if you need help. Let me show you this though. So this is just a jigsaw. You can use any brand that you want to, but I want to show you a couple different things when it comes to blades. So for years I have used, well, I used to have a Black & Decker. You can see these are Black & Decker blades, but my first jigsaw was Black & Decker and nothing was wrong with it. It didn't quit working, but it used, I think they're called U-shaped blades, okay? What I found was these come out a lot easier than the T-shaped blades. So I switched. That's the only reason I switched. This one was rated really well. It was a little bit more expensive than some of the others, but it's so funny. Shannon has the same one. Do you love it? Okay, so these are the ones I've been using. You can see they're T-shaped. See, this is a U at the top, and then this one has, it's really hard to see because they're kind of faded, but it has two little pieces that jut out. Well, that helps hold it in your jigsaw. Okay, so let me pick this blade up so I don't like cut my foot down here. Yay, yes, Bridget, yay, 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 yay. Okay, so let me put this back. So these are the U-shaped, and you need to know what your jigsaw uses, okay? It either uses U-shaped or T-shaped. It won't use both. So I switched to the T-shape because my U-shape, they would pop out too easy. So last week I was watching a video from Tamara Bennett, and this is what I had been using to cut my wood. Okay, this type of blade. Tamara really recommended this, which I don't know what brand, I didn't look to see, but it was the type. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's genius. Okay, maybe everybody knew this but me. Do you see how much narrower that is? Your wood does not jump around nearly as bad, and it goes so much faster, and you can get really clean cuts. So do you see the difference in that? This one's thick, and this one's not. So I have switched to these blades, and oh my gosh, I love them. So I ordered a pack, and they were not expensive. And like I said, I have the T-shape, so that's what I ordered. But these are Taros blades. I don't know if I can get that any clearer. Anyway, whole pack of them. They're scrolling blades. And I am so pleased with these. So anyway, if you have not already purchased a jigsaw and you're looking to get one, my recommendation is you go with the scrolling blades, which are the narrow blades for cleaning or clean cutting wood, and that you get a T-shaped a jigsaw that holds T-shaped blades. So anyway, so in order to do the door hanger project with me, you're going to need a jigsaw or a scroll saw. I prefer the jigsaw. And a piece of tri-ply underlayment or MDF. Really, any scrap wood you have would work. And then a sander, either just a hand sander, like one of those sanding blocks or sanding paper, or this is my favorite sander. It's like a mouse-shaped sander, but it's cordless. I love the Ryobi products. So anyway, this is... Shannon says, matter of fact, I'm cutting door hangers while watching you. Awesome! You'll have to show us what you're cutting. So anyway, this is my favorite, and I buy these, they're Velcro on, so I just pull them off, throw them away, and grab a new one. I buy a whole pack of them. So okay, so those are the tools that you'll need if you're going to cut the door hanger. So I say that to tell you, we're going to paint the clipboard today. And then I'm going to give you time to get some of the other tools, and then join me for the door hanger painting. So I'm sorry if you came on already ready to paint your door hanger. You can totally paint that with us because it's the same. It's going to be the same principles. It's just I'm going to be working on a smaller canvas today. All right, are we ready to get started? I'm ready, I think. So I have all of these clipboards laying on my table. I had 4. Oh yeah, I love the school buses. Okay, so last night I thought, well, I'll just slap a quick coat of white on before I head upstairs. Kimberly, that saw is called a jigsaw. And if you missed what I said, they're 2 different kinds of blades. I prefer jigsaws that hold T-shaped blades, not U-shaped blades. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so last night I thought I'll just have some Anita's paint that was sitting here in my stash. And I thought I'll just throw a couple quick coats on before I go upstairs and get ready for bed. It didn't work so well. Okay, so I normally work on underlayment. I don't work on MDF a whole lot. But when I have worked on MDF, oh, Tisha, I'll show you how to do that. Okay, when I have worked on MDF, what I've realized is it sucks in a lot of paint. Well, this to me was even like that multiplied times 100. Let me show Tisha really quickly. Hey, Allison. Let me show Tisha really quickly how to change this blade. Now, every jigsaw is different. Look at this, guys. It is not plugged in. Do not ever change your blade or mess with your blade when it's plugged in. Please, please, please. All right, so mine, I just popped this back, and there's, I don't know if you can see that. There's this like thing that turns, and you just kind of spin it around. It's really hard to show you. And then you just kind of have to work your blade out, okay? So then whenever I want to put it back in, I just hold it up like this so I can see it. And I just kind of work my blade back in there. But then you have to make sure that you get it pushed all the way back over. Okay, so that's how you do it. It's really not hard, but I will say that after your blade's been in there for a while, it can be kind of hard to jiggle it out. So just be patient. Don't get frustrated. Kimberly wants to know, what's the other type of wood? Underlayment, tri-ply, or underlayment. Okay, Tish, good job. So excited. Kimberly, most of this stuff is in my Amazon store, but obviously your wood, you'll need to go to Home Depot or Lowe's. My trick, guys, and I promise I'm going to paint in a minute, but I have all these things I want to tell you. So, and I may repeat myself next week. So if you're following me while I'm painting these, these 2 projects, please, please, please understand I've got a lot of new people who are painting with us. So if I repeat myself, it's because I don't want someone to miss something really important. So my tip yes, I love tri-ply underlayment. You're welcome, Kimberly. Okay, so when you go to Home Depot and you're buying that big 4 foot by 8 foot sheet, which you can buy a smaller sheet, but here's what I'm going to tell you. And I need some people to chime in with me and give me some high fives because I know I'm not alone. It's about $15 for the 4 by 8 sheet, and you can get approximately 12 signs out of that if you do it right. Okay, so for about $10 you can get a sheet half that size. So then you're going to get 6 signs. Guys, you're going to fall in love with this, right? You're going to fall in love doing this. You're going to want to do more. So buy the $16 sheet and have them cut it down for you. They may charge you, I think like the first 2 cuts are free, and then it's like 50 cents a cut, so maybe $1 to cut. But let me show you how I have them cut it for me. And I'm going to draw it right here. And forgive me if you've already seen this because I've shown this before, but it's a tip that I find helps a lot of people. So let's pretend like this is my 8 foot and this is my 4 foot sheet. You do too? Yeah, me too. Okay, I buy like 12 of them at a time. The guy gets kind of frustrated with me, but I'm like, dude, it's job security. Okay, this is how I have them cut it, which it actually, yeah, that's how I have it cut it. It's hard to see these lines. Can y'all see those lines? So across, they cut the sheet in half long ways, and then 2 equal cuts. So I'm gonna mess up the math, but it's approximately 24 by, I don't know, whatever it is across the other way. Kathy, thank you. You're awesome. I have them cut it the same way for me. Yes. Okay. So 8 stack. Let's see. He brought this stack of 8, but he cuts it 24 by 24. Okay. So Amy Lynn, the problem with that is you're not going to get as many cuts out of your wood if you're cutting it that way. Like, I kind of have, and it might work perfect for you, but I'm thinking that you're probably going to get more signs if you can cut it this way, because here's what I do. Hey, Ginger, I get 2 signs out of each of these, okay? If they are, what I try to do is, let's say I've got an apple that I'm cutting. So an apple is going to be more squared, right? You get 8. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. More squared. And then my next sign may be like a love school. And it's going to be a tall skinny. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, so what I usually do is I usually get a square shaped or more rounded and then a tall skinny. Or I can do 2 tall skinnies. Anyway, so yes, if you're getting 8, that's still a really good bargain. So let's work on this. Let's talk for just a second about paint, because I told you that, like, I was trying to paint with this and it just wasn't working. So if you are going to Home Depot and you're painting on MDF or these clipboards, do you sell it? Yes, Kimberly, I do. This one right here is free. Let me grab this sheet for a second. This is free. Oh, honey, it doesn't look smooth. And this one has the big and the little, because this is a project that we're doing as a group. And it's just kind of a free project that I'm doing so that you can kind of see what it's like to paint with me every month. So that one is at the top. Oh, you're getting it at cost. Yeah, you're getting a really good deal. I need to come live closer to you. I need to make friends with y'all. Okay, so yes, I sell my templates. Kinsley'sCreativePalette.com. If you click on shop, there will be a drop down and it says wooden door hanger templates. And I just added like 20 new ones this week. I haven't even told anyone. So y'all are the first to know. 8 by 4 foot cuts into, yes, thank you, Lisa. Okay, she says it cuts into 32 inch by 24 inch. And most of my tall signs are 22 inches. My more square signs are closer to 17 or 18 inches. So hopefully that helps. Now let's move. I'm just talking away today. Okay, so if you're going to Home Depot, you're cutting on, or you're painting on MDF, I would highly suggest that your first coat be a coat of chalk paint. I don't love the way chalk paint feels, but it does not soak into the wood the way that acrylic does. So like this was 1 coat of chalk paint. Guys, I will tell you, 3 coats I had already tried of this and the wood just soaked it right up. So it's not cost effective. It's not time, what would you call it? It doesn't save you any time. It actually like eats away at your time. Now this label is pretty painted over, but this is the Rust-Oleum chalk and they sell this at Home Depot. It's, I think, 17 something for a can. It's 30 ounces, so I think that's a quart. Is that right? But it lasts you quite a while. So if you're painting on MDF, let me shake this up because I'm going to do 1 more coat. This is what I highly suggest your first coat be. So let me open my paint can. I have my wire cutters here. That's what I tend to use for just about everything. Say hi and tell me where you're from if you're going to do this project with us. Or if you're just hanging out, like trying to see who the heck is this crazy lady on here painting today. It's me. Okay, got my brush. Let me dry it off. So my brush was stuck in the water cup from last night. I dry it off with microfiber towel and I wiggle it back and forth so that my bristles stay nice and in shape. Okay, I'm gonna wipe this off, make sure there's no dust on here. I really should put an apron on. Grab that. All right. Let's see. That's my problem. I'm using acrylic and I've already done 3 coats and it's still not good coverage. Yes, Ginger. Okay. One other thing that you could try, and I don't know if this will work. I'm just, last night I was thinking, what would I tell people if they don't have anything but acrylic? And my thought was to put a coat of, like a clear coat on first. So like, this is what I use to seal my signs. I was thinking, and like I said, I haven't tried this, so like you'll have to be a guinea pig if you try it. Maybe spray it with a light coat of this so that then your paint would sit on top of this. So I don't know if that would work or not, but it's worth a try if you're having trouble. Another thing you could try, Lisa used a cheap roller for hers. Would gesso do? Maybe, Mary. That is a great point. Gesso might do. Now, if y'all don't know what gesso is a white, almost like chalky paint that if you want to reuse a canvas, you just paint over it with gesso, and it makes it like the canvas. So yeah, Mary, I bet that would work. And Mary, is it Mary or Mary Karma? I don't want to call you by the wrong name. Another thing you might try is using the thicker paints. So like, well, that's a matte medium. This is the thicker acrylics. They come in the tubes. That might work better. I don't know. But this is what I found that I like the way that it worked. So I wanted to show you. And this jar or this container would last you a really long time. Okay, so I've got just the can top over here. And I'm just going to put another quick coat of paint on. Ginger said, how do I get my paint to look so smooth? It's really not. It's really not. It's just, it looks better on camera. So I'm just slapping it on. And best tip for you, if you're in a hurry, you're going to paint a whole bunch, you want to get it done quickly, you don't have a lot of time, make sure you have a blow dryer handy and blow dry. Blow dry between coats. You never want to put wet paint on wet paint. It just pulls it right back off. I'm guessing a lot of you know this, but for those new people who stumbled across and want to do this, I want to make sure that they get a good foundation of knowledge before their first project. I almost said product. All right. Yeah, that's covering a lot better. So this is 2 coats of chalk paint. Now, I know there's going to be this long debate about chalk paint brands. I am not a chalk paint girl. Never have been. So if there's a certain brand of chalk paint you want, I'm not knocking it. I'm not telling you to switch chalk paint brands. I'm just telling you this is what I'm using, because I know that there's a lot of diehard chalk paint fans that have certain brands that they are loyal to, and honestly, I haven't really tried any of them, so I can't tell you either way. Okay, well, let me show you. This is 2 coats, and it looks really good. So I'm going to set this to the side. Oh, do you use the apple barrel chalk paint? Let's see what Shannon says. I might have just gotten a little bit of paint on the front of that when I picked it up. By the way, oh, thank you. Hey, Heather. I like it when Facebook tells me who pops on. Kathy is watching this morning. Is it morning or is it afternoon? So I have, my studio's been closed for most of the summer because around here everybody is sports obsessed in the summer. And so because the weather gets, hey Kathy, because the weather gets so cold in the wintertime, like we really take advantage of the warmer weather. So in saying that, the studio's been closed all summer, but I had a birthday party in there on Saturday. Guys, my AC went out. Oh my goodness. And while I'm not in the South, it got up to 85 in there, and it was they were so sweet. Like, they were seriously the sweetest people. But I felt terrible. Well, I have a private party coming up this week, and it's gonna be ladies. Some of them might even be postmenopausal. So I had to meet the AC guy today to get that fixed so we could have some cool air next week when we open the studio back up. And if you're a local customer and you've been wondering, like, when is she going to put up the fall schedule, it's coming soon. I just haven't gotten it up yet. We just got our football schedule last week, and just finished swim. Got school schedules coming up, so I will get it up. But look for the studio to open 1 or 2 days. I haven't decided, for 1 or 2 parties in September, and I'm hoping to do 2 in October and November, but it depends on how the first one goes. Okay, so I've got 2 coats on both of these, and I painted 2 clipboards just because I knew I would have at least 2 teachers to gift to. I'm going to put my lid back on. I just pushed down real hard. I'm not real big on trying to make sure it seals real good. I probably should, but I don't. Alright, so this is almost done. If you have a blow dryer, now would be the time to blow dry. I'm going to kind of wave it in the air. Did I get paint on that other side? I did. It's mostly dry. It's just right in the middle. It's a little bit wet. Heather, that means it's 12:39 here too, huh? I don't know. I don't have my watch on, so I don't even know. I think so. This day's just flown by. Okay, so now we're going to take, and I realize this is going to be a little bit smaller, but that's okay, guys. It's totally okay. So this is just going to go right in the middle. But you can draw the extra lines if you want to. Hello, Leslie. Alright. I'm still drying. Okay. So let me turn this way. And then if you have carbon paper, this is when you're going to want to use it. Now, I'm not ready to set this on here because I want to make sure it's all the way dry, so I'm going to grab my blow dryer. But if you don't have carbon paper, they should have it at your local, like, office supply store, or you can order it on Amazon. It's not expensive. I buy, like, a huge pack for, like, $8. It'll last forever, and I share it with everybody. So I would highly recommend you get a pack of this because it makes your tracing your templates onto your board and onto your different things so much easier. So let me grab my blow dryer and blow dry this real quick, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, so well, I'm glad you're here, Leslie. Uh-oh. Let me see. Did it come unplugged? Leslie says she misses my videos. She misses the hot mess over here. There we go. Okay. So I have it on hot just so it dries quicker. But I just want this good and dry. Good and dry. I'm going to do this other one too. Okay, so I've got, that's good and dry. Miss Bowman. Hot mess over here. Calls me. You're so funny. Alright, so I'm going to set this on here. You want to kind of center it up. So I just want to make sure that I've somewhat got this centered on here. Okay. And normally I would tape this down, but since there's really nothing to tape it to because I'm pretty much covered my canvas, I'm just going to kind of hold it. And I'm going to ignore this outer line, this black line. I'm just going to pretend like it's not there. I need my ruler, and I thought it was over here, but I don't see it. So maybe instead of a ruler, I'll just use one of these other clipboards. So anything with a straight edge will work, but essentially I'm going to draw these lines in, and then I'm going to trace the other things. Does that make sense? Now, if you want to draw your lines with like straight on with your paint marker or with something else, then don't draw these lines on with the carbon paper. So you would just skip the lines and you would draw the other details. Okay, does that make sense? Let me show you what that would look like. So I'm just going to start down here at the pencil. At the pencil. Did I say the pencil? With my pencil at the apple. And guys, it does not have to be perfect. But let me do this. Alright, if you're going to do the back to school words and you want them to look just like this, you can. I'm going to letter in my kids' teachers' names, so I'm not actually going to do that right now. So let me show you what I actually traced on here. So I just did the apple and this, because if you're going to use something else to do your lines, like for example, this blue. I think I want this brighter blue. Let's see how this would work. Let's start right here. I'm going to draw a blue line with my, what do you call it? Colored pencil. Okay, see that blue line? Now, let me just tell you, this is going to more closely resemble the actual sheet of school paper than painting that line will. So if you are somewhat of a perfectionist, which I know I have several of those ladies who paint with me who are, you may want to just use this for your lines. Hey Margie, welcome. Because that is going to make a beautiful, look at that, I went over it 3 or 4 times. That's going to make a beautiful blue line that you're not going to be able to get with your paint pen. It's just not going to look that good. I'm just going to be honest. So let me come back up here. I'm going to do this one. Make it darker. Oh, it's going to be so cute. Okay, so I'm just going to keep putting my lines on. I'm not measuring. You can measure if you want. If you had a ruler, what you would probably want to do is like on either side of the ruler. And then that way you'd know your lines were staying uniform. I don't know where my ruler went. So I'm just going to use this and wing it. Now when I get to this part, I I will skip over the top of my apple. So just went right up to it. I'm great today, Margie. How are you? Let me show you. See how I went kind of around my apple? So you're going to do that. And you can sharpen if you need to. Stop and sharpen your pencil. But I'm just going all the way down like this. Now the reason your paint needs to be good and dry is because if not, this would just scratch your paint. It would not make pretty lines. Okay. Do this one, and then we're going to go back up. Okay, so let's go back up here. Now, remember with a piece of notebook paper, there's going to be a gap at the top. Yes, you need to download your template. Okay, let me set this on here and go this way. I wanted to be able to see my line, so I'm doing it this direction. I'm skipping between my banner. Okay, so that's where we're at. Lisa, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Okay, so I'm gonna take this. It's not quite long enough, so I'll have to join these lines. But I'm gonna add the, he says technically all paper has carbon. Woman, tell him we are not all chemistry geeks, and that not all paper will leave an imprint on another piece of paper. It just won't. If it would, then we wouldn't have to go to Office Depot and buy special paper. Okay, so I need this line next. See this line? And it's in red. So, and these templates, guys, I gave them to you in color because if you didn't want color, you can just choose black and white on your printer. But if you wanted color, there's no way to add color once I've sent them to you. Does that make sense? So I wanted to make sure that if you wanted color, you had it. Had the option to do either one. Okay, let's see. I'm loving this so much already. Loving it so much already. Okay, guys, check this out. Ah, look at that. Amazingly clean lines. And guys, we're going to seal this in the end, so it doesn't matter that it's not paint on there so far. But now we are going to get our paint out, and I want some bright, fun colors, but I'm going to start with my apple first. So I'm going to get red, and find a plate. Oh. Okay. Oh. This is watermelon slice. This is bright red. I'm going to try this bright red because it's already open, but I may have to switch. All right, quick tip for you. I'm going to put a lot of red in here. I'm going to put a tiny, 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 tiny drop of brown. I know, sounds weird. Tiny drop. I mean like the smallest drop, okay? When I say the smallest drop, I don't know if y'all can see that, but like the smallest drop. Then I'm gonna take the back of my paintbrush and I'm gonna mix that up. Now, it's not changing the color. All it does is it helps a little bit with the coverage because red is a super transparent color and it's very hard to get good coverage. So I add a tiny drop of brown. Uh-oh. think there's a little hole. Look at this. There's a little hole at the bottom, so it's going to leak out. All right, so I'm just using a round tip brush, and I'm just going to put my first coat of paint. This is going to take a few coats, but I'm going to cover, go all the way around. Now remember, when we paint, to get our crisp lines, we want to load our brush and go slow. Put some tape over it. Oh, yeah, I will. Alright, so I'm just going slow and I'm getting those edges real good. I just put my hand in wet paint. So who else is painting with me right now? Lisa, are you painting? Okay, there's my apple. It's going to need some more coats. It's totally okay. If you're going to paint any of these red, which I'm trying to decide if I want to do these primary colors or if I want to go back to these colors. I kind of love these colors. Let's do that. So I'm going to paint this one red. While I have my red paint out, you can switch to a smaller brush if you want to, if you're more comfortable with that. I'm going to keep the same round brush. This is a number 6. Okay, let me put that one in the water. Now I'm going to do green. And I'm going to do like Kelly green, so like this darker, it's called Festive Green. I don't need very much of it because it's just going to be right here and right here. So let me put a tiny bit in my cup. I'll grab a brush. Now guys, I will tell you, your brushes don't matter as much as, this is my opinion, as much as you being confident using them. Yes, you know, you need certain basic brushes. Like I always have a round brush. I always have a angle tipped brush that's stiffer. But the main thing is that when you go into paint, that you have that attitude of, I can do this. Because that takes you a long way. And another thing is the more detailed, hey Sissy, welcome. The more detailed design that you're painting, or like the smaller the detail, the smaller the brush. Sissy, is Midland anywhere close to Kermit? Okay. I'm gonna grab a small brush and do these other colors. So my other colors are yellow. Oh, sorry guys. Yellow, pink, and blue. So let me grab, I'm gonna do kind of a dark pink. Oh, not that one. There we go. This one is dragon fruit, which is such a fun color. Just need a tiny bit. And I switched to a smaller brush. Yes, 2 hours. Okay, so that's where my dad is from. He's from Kermit, Texas. We used to go on vacation there, and we used to jump down the sand dunes. I don't know, can you even do that anymore? But we would get on, there would be these really tall sand dunes, and we'd like ride down them. Just remember that being a lot of fun, even though I hate sand. Okay, there's the pink. Then let's do blue. It's funny the stuff you remember as kids. It makes me wonder, like, what are my kids gonna remember? The blue. No, Ginger, I don't like the beach. I don't like the beach. I don't like the beach. So my husband and I had our engagement pictures taken on the beach, and that was, I think I've gone to the beach maybe once or twice afterwards, but like, we were married, it was 14 years on Monday, and we don't do beach. I'm a mountains girl. I like mountains and rivers and that kind of thing. But no, I don't like the beach. I know, I just lost a lot of people. They were like, I don't like her anymore. But no, I'm not a beach girl. Hey, Deborah from Bama. Yeah, I love creeks. We have a big pond out back, and that's what my kids swim in. You know, we're so country. We had a pool at our house in Chattanooga, and we really thought they would miss that, but they like the pond. I've never gotten in it. I like to look at it, but I don't want to get in it. I want to swim in a swimming pool. I can see the bottom. Okay, guys, let me show y'all. Here's where we're at. I'm going to get a little bit of brown, and I'm going to paint that stem. But in order to do the next coat, we need all this to dry, and then I will I'll come back and I'll put another whole coat of paint on, and then after I'm done, when I'm ready to do my lettering, which it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get to today because this is going to take too long to dry, but that's going to be done with a Posca pen. So if you are gathering your supplies to do the projects, hey Beverly, I recommend, and I don't know if y'all have a Joann's close to you, but someone posted on Facebook that they're selling these now at Joann's. I cannot verify that. I haven't seen them firsthand. At our Joann's, I haven't looked, but Posca pens, see these? They're in my Amazon store, and I highly, highly, highly recommend that you invest in Posca pens. I have black and white. I don't have any other colors. If I had blue, I possibly could have done these lines with the blue Posca pen, but I really love, it's really hard for y'all to see this up close, but I love how much that looks like a piece of notebook paper. The lines are, I don't know, to me they just look like they went through a printer. Anyway, when I come back to finish this, I am going to outline all of my details and my stuff with this black Posca pen. So if you don't have one, I highly recommend you get one. If you can't get a Posca pen, your next best thing is a paint marker. Either the Painters brand, the Elmer's Painters, or the Sharpie brand work. They just don't work as well. So the Posca pens write on canvas, they write on wood, they write on glass. They're just, and they're smooth. They're amazing. So anyway, let me paint this, and I will hit this with a blow dryer. Would y'all rather I stay on and finish painting the next coat, or come back and give y'all time to gather your supplies? What would y'all prefer? Let me know. Let me know. I think you may be talking about the Monahan Sand Hills State Park. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I just remember it was a lot of fun. Alright, I'll go ahead. This green is dry, so I'll put another coat of green on. I'd have to ask my dad where it was. It was years and years and years ago. Beverly, how are you today, love? You having a good... Is today Friday? Yesterday felt like Friday because we didn't have football practice. And so my whole week is like messed up. My goal this weekend is to get a lot of work done, but what I really want to do is sit on the couch. Is that terrible? Is that terrible? Am I the only one? Oh, okay, friends, if you are like me and you drip on your board, quickly, I probably shouldn't use spit, but I just wiped it off really, really quickly. If not, you'll have to paint over it. If it dries, you'll have to paint over it. Oh, shoot. Okay. I went a little bit out of the line there. Alright, I'm doing all my second coats real quick. Maybe I can get this. Maybe I can get it all painted for you today. I don't know my teachers' names, though. We haven't gotten that far, so I'm not going to be able to paint the teachers' names. I will, if y'all would like me to share a fun tool with y'all, an online tool that would help you if you're going to write your teachers' names. Pull the clipboard back. Yes, sorry about that. Deborah Pierce says, spit is Mom 409. It took me a second to get that, but yes, you were absolutely right. Spit is Mom 409. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I'm going to put my coat of red on. Oh, I forgot to do that green. Oh well, okay. I'm going to do my red, and then see what I need a third coat on. Not until the 21st. The 21st. I got kids home for another week or so. I'm actually going to a conference in Canada the day my kids start school. It's going to be like crazy weird to have to ask them how their first day was over the phone. This is going to be so cute, guys. Now remember, when you're painting this, like, it does not have to look just like mine. It doesn't have to look like the template. Have fun with it. Okay, I need to add a little bit more green down here. Okay, let me share that online tool with y'all if y'all are still tuning in to me. So if you will go to a website called Dafont, DAFONT.com, and I'm pretty sure this one does it. That's the one I'm thinking of, but it may be a different one. You can pull up all these different fonts. Like, they have fonts after fonts after fonts. And you can pull up a font similar to this, or you could have it where it's cursive, whatever you want. And you can type in your text. So I could say, like, Mrs. Williams. And then I could see how that would look in different fonts. So I would choose a font, and then I would preview it. If I didn't like it, I could choose another one. But then you would have something to look at before you started actually writing. So, for example, I would, you know, whatever it would be to fit this style, I would look through some fonts and say, oh, I like that one. And then I could look at that on the screen while I was writing my lettering out. So if you're doing custom lettering, that's a good way to look at a bunch of different fonts and see what you want it to look like. Okay, I'm going to let this dry really quick, and I'm going to show you my Posca pen. Sissy, are you a teacher? What is it that I just said? My Posca pen. It's like a paint marker, but it's amazing. I'm going to prime it, and I'm going to go around all of my details. So I think I'll do it like this. I'm going to start over here. Guys, this thing is amazing. Look at that. Look how well it just flows. Like, you don't have to like pick your pen up and reprime it all the time. It's such a great paint marker. I went the other way for a second because my paint was thick. Yes, Sissy, are you a teacher? I know Lisa is. I got a text from Lisa this morning. When are you painting? I'm ready. I love it. I had to wait till the AC guy left. Not instantly, but really quick. Like, this is already dry. See, that's already dry. So I wouldn't say it dries instantly, but it dries really quickly, I should say. Hey, Carla. How are you, love? We are using our Posca pen and outlining. No, Human Lab Tech. Several years. Nice. Okay, I have a question for all of you. I can't wait to see what sign you paint for me next year. Lisa. So Lisa, does that mean that you're gonna keep teaching next year? Did Did I just see you commit? Bridget? Oh, I'm glad. So did you got it all ready and you're painting with me today? Lisa just committed to teaching next year. She had been on the fence. So does that mean I get her again? My Kinsley will get her now. The question is, will she stay for Reddick? A few more years. What? You're welcome, Beverly. Okay, so I now am, this is where I'm at. So here was our template. Okay, see that? And there's our sign, or our clipboard. I am going to, I'm going to use my white Posca pen, and I'm going to add my dots on my banner. So let me move this down. Now, I'm randomly adding these. When I do paint classes, I usually tell people to do them in a triangular pattern. But guys, when you're doing these little bitty dots, I just go really quickly. Okay, Lisa, that means you're going to have to get out of my paint group, and you're going to have to not get into painting because I need you to teach my son too. All right, look how quick that is. See those? And that way you can get all those little dots on there and make it look like the template. Sorry, my husband and son are talking about, he's trying to tell him how to use the oven. Look! Aren't they so cute? It adds so much to it when you are able to do these little details. You'll be ancient. Sissy, they're in my Amazon store on my website. They're Posca pens. Someone said that they have them at Joann's now, but I haven't checked ours, so I don't know if every Joann's has them or not. But I love them. But yes, they have them on Amazon. Bridget just sent me a picture. I don't know what it is yet because I can't see. Okay. Oh, I'm going to do one more right there. Okay. Look how cute. All right, guys. You see how amazing these pens are? It's wonderful. I do need another coat of red on my apple. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then, guys, the rest of the details are just kind of up to you. If you want to do your own lettering, if you want to do the back to school, you can just trace it on with your carbon paper. And then use a Posca pen or a paint pen, or even a paintbrush to put it on. Oh, awesome. So, are you a photographer, Bridget? Or are you using it for photo shoots like with your own kids? All right, that's looking better. Carla, that is a good question, one that I don't have a good answer to, because normally I don't do clipboards. Normally I just do the wooden door hangers and they don't get as much use. I am hoping that the sealer does really well. I will probably do a more than one coat, several coats of sealer, so that maybe it will hold up well. Is there Joann's in Odessa? And if so, do they have them? Reading y'all's comments. So I can't really go any further. I can't really go any further with this because I've got to get my kids' teachers' names. But, like I said, if you want it to say back to school, just put your carbon paper back there, set it back down, and trace those letters on. And then use your Posca pen or a paintbrush. Uh-oh, I just dropped my other one. Use your Posca pen to write it out. Another thing that you can do, this was something that I should have brought my tracing paper out, but I don't think I have it. Okay, oh, here's some. Let me just show you. So, yes, Lisa wants to know what sealer I'm using. I'm using the same sealer as the door hangers. So, this stuff, it's the Rust-Oleum 2-time Ultra Cover. I use the Semi-Gloss Clear. It is fast drying, non-yellowing, and UV resistant. And I'm going to spray several light coats. Look at y'all all talking. I love it. Okay, so if you joined me for the, when I painted my, it's hanging on my door, waving flag, I showed y'all a technique using tracing paper to practice your lettering before you put it on your board. So, if it were me, I would take a piece of blank tracing paper, I would set it down on my board, and I would kind of draw an outline of where my wording can go. Then I would take and I would practice lettering actually on my tracing paper. Tracing paper is cheap. It's really easy to write on. And then once you get it the way you want it, let's say you go through 6 pieces. Oh well, throw them away, get a new piece. Keep working until you get it the way you want it. Then you use the carbon paper behind your tracing paper and you trace your new lettering straight onto your board. And then you know what it's going to look like. You don't have to worry about, oh gosh, I messed up on my actual board. You practice on this first. So if you can see what I did when I did this one is my flag was wavy. So I needed my letters to make sure they went in that right angle. And so what I did was I drew those lines on and then I wrote my letters in until I was happy with them. So hopefully this will help some of you if you don't want to use the back to school wording. If you want to do your own, practice on tracing paper first. I am pretty sure they sell packages of tracing paper at Walmart. I wish I had my booklet of it with me. I'm looking. I don't think I have it. But it's in like where the art, like the crayons and all of that kind of stuff are for the majority of the year, not like the school supply section. So anyway, so this is where I'm going to stop for today. But guys, I will be painting the big door hanger live. I'm not sure what day yet, but you have time to get your supplies and all of that. Get on Amazon, go to Home Depot. You can pretty much buy everything you need at Home Depot or Walmart or Amazon, except for your wood, obviously. But I hope that you enjoyed this project, and I hope that you will join me back for the door hanger. And thank y'all. I love y'all so much. Y'all are awesome. Oh, Hobby Lobby has tracing paper. Wonder if they have carbon paper. Sissy, do you know? Do you know? All right, ladies. Have a great day. Bye, guys.